bad for Sen at the bottom of the table. So all of these kind of things. And listen, one of our big stories is going to be who can shut down Aspas. Is he just going to run rampant? And immediately he goes down.
Yeah.
Mazzino baited into making another re-clear play as well, thinking that G2 would probably leave that area after they got the early pick. And so, listen, this pistol round is basically wraps already. G2 are going to be able to get in, get the plant, and play a post plant in a 5v3. And Leaf, miles away, can connect on some kind of post plant flank as well. You couldn't write a better beginning for G2.
No, you really couldn't.
GB was asking the question, what happens if this team gets out to a strong start and slaps down Lev early? Well, this is looking good at the beginning.
One of the questions I had was that who was going to be shutting down the monster player that is Aspas. Now, Leaf,
wait,
is that? Hold on.
Wait,
There's defusing! There's no shot! They're getting away with that!
That's a 5v3! To get the plant down.
Timing to take the fight. King, he's dropped Trent. These rifles are not really doing too much at all. They swarm the position, they've got them surrounded. There's not a single avenue that's open for him. Jonah P has got to offset and contend with way too many players there. 3 in a row. Will anybody just walk right into him? What an adjustment and a flick. That was a jump spot from Icy.
Oh, that was so good. On Icy's extended arm as well.
This off angle is dirty as well if you're not anticipating it. It's rare that a Jet would really play up here, but a couple of stray bullets means that Trent does have that level of awareness. At least to push him back and away off that angle, but another first kill going their way.
Despite the fact they're in a 4v5, it's the positioning up here of Leaf, who might be able to do something. He's got himself into a very deep position over at Halls. And now G2 coming back to A, and they're in a nice spot to make an A split work. Leaf still has 2 cages. He can cage this off, open the door, put a lot of pressure on these players. Close here.
No way, just a dry swing and peek for that mid-round information, not set up with the util yet. He still survives.
Leaf didn't go for a
kill, and yet Leaf was not able to survive that Horse lurk. This is just falling to pieces, rattled. That's how G2 are going to be feeling. Rebounding. Sending in that long-range artillery, but Mazzino eager to not make any noise, just waiting for the rest of his team, trying to play inside this pit, and that flank attempt, while it does pay off. Tex taking out Valen. They still have to deal with a lot of obstacles that are here, but that lights them all up towards the back of the site. Leaf is doing dirty work here all around the map and the site. Struggling, contending. How will have turning this? Jonah P.
Not again.
Last one left inside the pit, but this time the molly is correct on the course. And a spray down as well, anticipating that fight. That's a Red Bull clutch. Go button pressed here with the drone through, getting the one tag, not spotting Aspas, but now they're calling him out. And the kills he's going to be able to get here though with a deep darts over and away. Clone dodged. Duked with the cages, really just making this one hard to collect any sort of kills, but they are flooding in the direction of Lev for now. Updraft, dodging away and avoiding! What is that adjustment? Aspas right now will not be denied! And this guy is just flexing on him! King. In a corning, aware that Leaf is already just going to be playing tucked into it. He doesn't actually have any util or Snakebite to clear it. Hunter's Fury forwards. Leaf finds that first fight, but Hunter's Fury as well. These players, they cannot stand their ground and shoot back. Lev putting it difficult now. Snared up into the sides. Aspas seeking that rifle. Pressing forwards now to 2v2, and they know exactly where Valen is. Dashing forwards, dart rebounding. It's absolute chaos here, but what can Aspas do against the North? Post.
One of the problems with Leviatán's retake in the previous round is that they didn't have people flanking. That angle is filthy.
Just sees right over the top of the high tide, so they assumed it was a safe plant. Not the case. Flash, peek, Icy in the back, but his anti-flash dodged. Zeno looking far too clean with the reflexes. 3 players. Leaf's going to have to do an awful lot of lifting here to try and make this one winnable. Such a large disadvantage. Now time is being bled off the clock, but they're losing out these duels, and the lineup's still going to be played from afar already. Mazzino sticking, gets his half, and it doesn't even matter. No more players will be dropping. Last chance to do something. Mazzino not being faked out there by the clone, but I mean, Icy is playing anti. Tex follows through now with a Hunter's Fury. He's going to be chasing all sorts of kills. The Cove making it difficult, but well, the Cove will not withstand that kind of pressure. It's galvanizing. Oh, this is just ripping them to shreds.
Tex is such an eco-cobra in this game. He's running around, snaffling up the players of G2. See if they set him up for the next one. Can he drive the dagger into the heart of his former team?
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
It was Com eventually that puts Jonah P down.
Over towards B main as well, so there is that uncertainty. That's why G2 are making their way over towards B, just in case. I see. Good kill to collect. Text the lurking player down towards Halls, but now pretty aware of the fact that this is going to be an A plant. Deep dart. Lev are going to be using that to take that backside control. Com could definitely get caught here by this fast flank occurring right behind him. Yes, was unaware of the fact here, and he is going to be squeezed from every single position and angle. I mean, with the classic, how much work is this guy doing? Having to dodge and juke and duck away from these shock darts up onto the ropes. Jonah P does win that fight out. This is a great start for G2. Advantages to be found, and they are making it nice and clean. Aspas. Last one now. Try and push them all back here. Only 5 more bullets left, and there's no easy shots, no easy targets. Valen now sticking that defuse, and guess what? Not planned it for him, but the cove in place. It's a pistol round wrapped up nice and pretty there from G2.
Do they think about Leaf? This is where the high tide was pointing.
Oh, it's just not expecting it. But yeah, great awareness from Tex, knowing that that was a slight gap. Had to be re-cleared here. Now Lev can make their moves all the way over. Valen though, Outlaw in hand. 2 shots will do it. Volleys have to be dodged and juked and avoided and evaded, but not the bullets. Tex is just lighting them up right now. What a takeover in a round. Subtle with it. He's one away now from the ace. Feels like we haven't seen too many of them, to be honest, in the Super Week, but...
This is one of those aces where you get the 4 kills very impressively, and then the rest of your team tries to help you hunt down the final one.
They know where he is, Jonah P. Shots. Landing. That is denied. I mean, Aspas just stealing it away.
The difference was on the pistol, Tex also went down, so that trip was disabled.
Spot on the shoulder. Tex wins that fight. No theft immediately, but Valen, what a response from him. I mean, just 3 kills toppled like that into the main, executing. And we talked about it. It was the difference maker last time. The double swing is lovely with the coordination. All caught to perfection, and rinse and repeat, I suppose. Mazzino. It's an ace on the cards here for Valen. Wall still up, he can back away, and he does have the spike. With only 17 seconds to utilize it. Running short and shy of the time, so Mazzino sticking the plan. Valen gets a bit of a run on, and there's the kill, okay! Valen to the side, playing that anti-flash through the cage as well. Many targets to deal with. He is being overwhelmed here. Jonah P just can't provide that supportive fire, but the rest of G2 still alive and kicking into the 2v2. Aspas wasn't dropped in the midst of this one, and now he's going to be re-exploring up towards the stairs. Trying to take a good fight as well, but doesn't overstay it. Dart doesn't get broken in time. Aspas playing out of the position. Trent, what a fight to take. Got the confidence back with that one. Com would have to be ridiculous from him, and the fight to be an isolated 1-on-1. Sova versus Sova. Shock dart, rebounds away, getting the info, getting the knowledge, the jump spot, an additional confirmation, and Com running round and round, but Trent not looking towards it. Hopped up, get the info, just barely ahead, but missed out with the Blade Storm. Hunter's Fury will relieve quite a lot of this. Jonah P though, weaving in and out, but the Phantom Spray just can only do so much. Still 2 kills. Did donate over the rifle with him falling.
Toxin.
The plan down as well.
There's a fight on the flank.
What are we feeling? Worried about it. Yep, this flank potentially being hurt here by Leaf. Reckoning used to take this space up and scale quite fast onto the approach. King has already caught himself a kill. Already with that rifle that has been done in, and it only just being dealt with in the main angle. They know where Leaf is now at a position, and time ticking away. Despite being planted, Leaf is getting a move on here. He's not really being shy about it, not really obfuscating any sense of his positioning, and just not ready to collect that kill, so it's a thrifty win for Lev.
Look at the player archers. They're all looking at the site now, only just now thinking about the mid lurk.
And they've lined up perfectly for him. Come on, Aspas.
So good.
They're tearing them to pieces. I mean, they were using their own high tide against them to get into that top mid angle as well. Just a bait and switch. Valen really just seeking to pluck him apart in that mid angle as well, but he's not going to be able to get too much done now. Still, the pit will fade away. Jonah P, they've got to be aware of his position, and now definitely so. Dart just lights him up. Shock dart's pushing him back and away. Mazzino with the plant and a pit to play within. Should be a done deal, except leave. No! Just util out at a very wrong timing. Leaf now hopping around the place, man. He's seeking an avenue, a kill, anything at all, and he is making it look relatively fancy. Really putting that Spectre to good work, the jumping out and wide, but he doesn't have a rifle for it, and it's such a long sideline damage. Done to Aspas, updraft for the info, high ground angle played, 5 HP to Leaf's name, sticking half, already gained. Can he get it? Not quite at all. It's Aspas. He shuts down that attempt of heroism, man, and so map 1.
Com seems to be prepping a recon for Aspas to push.
This is incredibly deep and aggressive onto the angle and approach, but he has just skewered the man. Sheriff in hand, he lets it sing. Jonah P. It's quite a good job, honestly, of just trying to shore up the offense here onto the retake. Leaf now is alone in it. Spots out the 1 and the 2nd, so he's got to know these players' positions, but he needs to find the kills with only 5 bullets to do it with. Spraying him through, needs to get that reload online, but doesn't anticipate this angle from the back, doesn't know where to look. With the spike ticking away, time has ran too short for it, so Leviatán. Lowered angles, high tide rips its way through and across, and he wins the fight. Guarding the angles, it's a flood attempt here. Time's running really damn short, really damn low. Can even get themselves onto the side to get this plant online. Where is the spike's been dropped into the middle of nowhere? In fact, I mean, Aspas is going to have to stick this one just where he stands.
It's a very safe plant. Leaf's not going to be able to disrupt.
Now, are they going to be able to double up? Where are these bullets flying through? Right through the screen. Leaf wins it out just as we were talking about that head-to-head battle. Matters into his own hands here. G2. Q ends up sending the reckoning. Hello, fight. I mean, just startling and scaring each other there, but Icy, he doesn't win it against Text. Valley in a wide face there, just trying to dodge and avoid the stuns. The worst sent flying, vulnerable up, but it doesn't matter. Never win it out with the gunfights.
Oh, Jonah P's snake bite actually takes down Mazzino, who gave his life and the cove to get the plant.
A real chance here. I mean, Jonah P lurks his way up top, but the angle's watched for by Com here. Pit's going to be covering it. It's a blight on the map as well, and it gives the right angle here for Aspas. Here and now an attack early on. That is right on target and right on line for a potential disaster class here for G2. 2 players getting tagged down as well to the really just double digits of the HP. Tex is forward now with the rest of his team over the top of the ropes here, and they don't want to slow down in the slightest. Mollies might make this one a little bit tricky and a little bit awkward still. Gonna hold down that ground. Aspas is delivering death blow after death blow. This guy is just unstoppable right now.
Nobody on G2 can stop him, especially when King is working his way forward, so that first most difficult kill is a trade for Aspas.
Quite going to land into the corner here, but with the dart, they just think it's entirely cleared up here. Leaf, how's he managed that? 2 kills. Just with the Sheriff, can't quite manage the 3rd, but definitely damage being done left. Instantaneous on the response, but it's a 1v1 just like that. Flip of a coin, blink and you will miss it. Trent doesn't quite have the gun to really do the job. Tex with the rifle. He's holding this one at an off angle. Plenty of util though for Trent to work with, and he is going to send loose that dart. Gets the acknowledgement now that he knows where Tex's position is. Dropping down with the turret. A few shots fired, and it's a game of that timing's wrapping around. Just the crate, a tap, not quite, just full stick in this one. Swinging so wide, Trent! So they know it's relatively free, but now sent out by G2. Hunter's Fury, Trent at this particular angle. Aspas trying to go for that same spot once more that just did all that damage from behind the flank. It's all synced up. In the chaos of the situation, Leaf is striking him right where it hurts. Zeno can't reset the aim and doesn't even expect the second player to just be swinging out there from lower. So G2 are getting these rounds now.
The offers move.
Oh, it's getting competitive as well with that early kill. Straight down mid, up the gut. King falling nice and early. These advantages flowing the way of G2.
I think that's got to just be spanned through smoke, right? King must have bloomed his Viper.
Got a thing! That's insanity occurring. I mean, G2 just like that. You talk and talk and talk about Lev being this world beater team, and then just like that, G2, they answer back in kind. Aspas trying to dash and make something of it. It's a flawless round.
Lots of opportunities to make this difficult for G2. The drone's already in. Did it tag onto Mazzino? It did.
Gonna P to get that early tag. Forces out the shock darts here. On the side, G2. How do you get around this? Difficult to chew through and work through. It's a really hard pit, man. I mean, it just obfuscates all the available angles. Wingman sticking onto the defuse here, but broken. An IC decay down to 1, single digits. Dwindling. But the chances here, might be able to get some exit kills, but really that's all about it. So, and all of that's going to be delaying. Creeping towards inevitability here for Leviatán. The players are going to be toppling out towards the back of the side. Aspas cleaned up 3v3, but again, it's that util. How do you deal with these players? And awareness! Leaf is running rampant right now, spraying through, going to break this cove. Already defused, stuck all the way. And that's G2 making it nice and pretty, 6-6. Close here, but only 30 seconds left, and Lev have got the right read on this one. You can tell it, the high tide. They want to seek to fight this one and disrupt this plan before it can even go down. It's going to come down to the bullets, spraying through along with the util, denied in the moment. So now, G2, they do have to get that move on, picking up the spike here. Dizzy over the top, not watched for, it's not even broken, but the right clicks. Mazzino doing his best to sell copies and countless amounts of the bundles here still. Icy presses forwards. He's tucked though, his position is noted. Has to be the combined might and swing. 1v1, Leaf versus King. Tapping away, Leaf! It's an early here, forwards. Being played, even the drone being broken. That's just spam through.
That's a good read, I think, actually, as well. The defense would be in an open position, looking to try to spam Icy, so you counter spam. And here comes that trash.
Yeah, using it to really pave the way forwards here onto the site. Make sure you can reclaim it for later.
Flood defense, set up to go.
Man, to get this plant online, and here's the flood. Out through the cove as well. They all take it into the right-hand side and approach over the rafters. They're tearing them to pieces, man. And again, it's down to Leaf. It's a 1v1, just like that. Him versus Aspas, and how much have we talked about it? This head-to-head. He has taken the timing forwards on the rope silently. As you go, Aspas. Any sort of expectation.
Just on the bonus. It looked like it was only Jonah, but we've actually got 3 players coming in with only pistols.
I'm not too sure if they're just saving up the money as well, because they know, okay, well, Aspas likes to force this outlaw, and everybody falls. I mean, just like that. Try and fight this one, Lev. Really getting active now into the mix, trying to take that initiative, Jonah P. Just a fadeaway shot there, I think, maybe even getting slowed down in a moment, but he does find his target here, sprayed through into the cove. G2 trying to fight over this one, tooth and nail, but the util is just chopping him up. Anyone who tries to hold that ground with the backside of yellow nanoswarms. I'm being broken here. Now the lockdown, it's perfect timing for Leaf.
They're gonna have to go.
And they have to go fast here. Cove has to be broken, and it is indeed. Everybody just getting chopped up onto that defuse spot. Aspas, no choice now but to respect this one. Running around, but detained, and that is gonna seal it. No matter what necessary here, King is way ahead of the rest of his team. He's caught a nice little timing there, but has to dodge and juke away from the mollies and still dominating these angles. Not going to be pushed away from the pit. G2, they lock it down, retake it into it with the operator, just not an option here for Lev. So following where the action is currently, well, that noise being made, Mazzino, an attempt to get that mid-round information for his team to play off, just resulting in paying him with his life. And he's got the information, but what cost here for them? Because G2 now open for the taking is the site. Aspas. There's so much you can really do in this spot. Like I said, I mean, waves of smokes and util. Not exactly like you can get aggressive either, but he does still have the dash active and the blade storm. Plant. It's Wingman from IC, not being spammed down, so still getting into the post here for G2. Not being pushed back away from it.
I think this is probably a situation where you want to just,
going for the spam kills. I mean, vulnerable up. Leaf just locking down that angle. This guy is on fire right now. Aspas wants to just get out of there with the operator again, having to save it. And it's that raves of all that util emanating out. Out of late lurk as well on top of it. Leaf is really causing that distraction behind them. They've got so much to worry about right now. And how do they really even deal with it? Aspas forwards here. The blade storm shut down in his place here.
Com's position is really odd. You don't normally run your Sova behind yellow.
Just the off angle here in the movements. Is Com going to be a backup policy right from the back here with the Guardian in his face, but he's blinded up. Dizzy doing most of the work there for it, so all the kills. Tex seeking that timing. He's walked up right past even the wall. High tights on high tights again. It cuts up these angles, and it's an unfortunate one here because Mazzino just doesn't realize that he's not even set up for that fight here. But as it fades away, doubled up, they're able to make that one happen. Valen making noise now up through the flank here. They've got to try and deal with him in a dash to disengage and away, fading through. Lockdown needs to be broken, and IC delivers that death blow. That's a 13-8 flourish and finish. Icy, not looking behind him. Again, his back is being covered here. Aspas, what is that? Adjustment, really. A flick of the wrist, whatever you want to call it. He has just opened up the sight.
That's a ridiculous kill. Icy should have had that one, but Leaf responds. Leaf up top.
He's nice and fast into the action, isn't he? Right into the fray here. 2 versus 3. Still have to have some more magical moments, and Trent, he delivers one right into that lapse here still. Leaves it to Leaf. But he had a monster class performance. Clear out rubble.
They want to clear Tex first. This is a new protocol that teams are adding on the retake.
It's too much to clear, really, for them. Eventually trading him out. It's barely there, but how much more have they really got? The util, it's sent flying forwards and away. Mazzino still with that high ground position, but he tucks away just at the wrong time. Aspas dropping them all like flies in the moment. Orb's going to be pluming here. Good movement as well to just topple themselves up onto the box. Jonah P, just the one before eventually falling. Smoke timing, blocks off the heaven angle, but there's a slightest gap, can't quite nail it. Leaf was looking for an easy shot there. A few spam kills as well. Trent tucked close and a bit of a one and done, and it's really just a one and none.
I'm not sure I'd want to push that, Mazzino, because you know that there's a player inside there with a Marshall.
Marshall will do it. Hold up, this is eventually going away at G2. I mean, he's picked up this upgrade now, and Leaf, yes, his position is noted and known. Aspas, but it's the win out this fight. He's being distracted. Flying right over him with the satchels in play. Icy, he's making all sorts of distractions. Up and over you go, but you ran out of bullets. The right click. Good acknowledgement there. There's no quite tags happening whatsoever now. Their own Nightfall going to be used, and this is rapid by G2. But they're just flooding right back into this one, making sure that all those noise and sound cues cut away. There's nothing really that Lev can rely on. No comms in sight. Lockdown, even being expended, just making sure Aspas has no avenues. And just spamming, waiting off somebody's contact. Yeah, as soon as Leaf takes the point,
G2 have got to prod up some resistance here.
Looks more than winnable. Paranoia flying. Aspas, he's not shying away. He's brought down though. Icy, that's on his ult as well. Showstopper here with a rocket. Rebounding, potentially waiting, and it does strike back. Even anticipating that re-swing through the smoke. Forwards here, how is he going to be escaping from the iron away? I mean, it's 1-for-1, but Leaf does so well to even get it in the first place.
Mazzino is so deep. Omen ulted way into spawn.
Into the back line. Trent spots him though. Smoke drops down. It will cover the retreat at least, but he is, I mean, just behind enemy lines, entirely expecting it, in fact, hearing it. With a satchel play, he knew that Icy was on that high ground angle, and he has caught a timing of a lifetime! Trying to clear this guy out of position.
30 seconds left.
So Nadev trying to take the initiative forwards here with a seize, and they collapse! Right through the choke point. That is a cacophony of util enough.
You should run.
Makes a foul concoction, but with all that expended, the lockdown now has a bit of freedom to get used. Still, the plant does need to go down here. And time was running short.
left.
Still, it clears the way all the way through, even connecting onto that kill onto Leaf. I don't know why he's taking that fight out
He's trying
wide.
to break the lockdown there. He realized the lockdown was in a position where he could break it through the door, and he decided to send it.
So doubled up, smoke up, cuts up the angle. One more approach away for G2. Paranoia's good though. Satchel forwards! Mazzino, no way! TP'd forwards. Valen, you really seek to try and refight this one. They're not even thinking about it. Mazzino again, the difference maker. You've got to have an extra layer, I think, if you're going to try and fight a rubble like that. Expecting at least that there could be a player to take up that space and positioning. Valen risks to be taken, and he knows it. Almost going for it. Speaking of risks as well, Leaf, look at this guy.
Trying to make the hero play. Down 3v4, knows that he can't make a normal defense work. Jonah on an off angle, another kind of hero setup.
Should get traded immediately, surely. Surely, locking it, ADS, Bulldog! That is just biting him to pieces! Shredded in place! Set up with a smoke of his own here. This is excellent, to be honest. Even close quarters, action spraying and praying, but Icy is rewarded for it. And now that quick pivot, they hear the door being broken. Mazzino is going to be this extra backstabber, lurking angle. Hearing it now, and he's got the ultra as well. Disengage entirely. He's backing away and through into the main angle. Leaf is going to be fast through with this one. G2 as well. It's a double-pronged attempt, and Leaf is none the wiser. Didn't expect Mazzino to be repositioning there with a pit placed down, sitting nice and pretty onto that B site. This is now just an impossibility for G2 to decay. Already kicking in here for Trent.
Barely dodged the snake bite.
Yeah.
It should be too much.
You've got to give it up. Damage, though.
Very cool angle.
What is that?
That's so nice. It's an angle where the Odin can do damage, but you can't really get counter spammed. penetration just not good enough with the Phantom or a Vandal.
There's hesitation in the left camp. They're calling for which direction to even go into here with a Paranoia to really just supplement and help with the supportive util, waiting for that wall to go down. Mazzino, he wins the fight out eventually. Icy dealt with. TP across. They realize that they've got access to that B side. Only a few players to really have to worry about. Trent up into heaven. And the back's against it as well.
This is not going to be a free retake, even though G2 have a player advantage. Lev have space. They're taking position over towards Waterfall, and it's a good plan for both them and Mazzino. Could easily be another round where Mazzino pulls out magic.
Who's it going to be swinging into in terms of the favor? I mean, Texas going walkabouts into their own spawn here, but the door opens wide. There's a fight. Snakebite.
Mazzino wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, Mazzino wasn't ready for it, but he's going to be spraying through. 6 bullets, got to reload. Another fight comes through. There's a horde to set that one up and forwards. Tex still onto the angle, but now the last one left. Last man standing. Not for much longer. G2.
2's flood defense here is going to be massive. Nightfall, showstopper. How to Lev hold on?
They're so fast through it. Icy. His rocket, that could have been a difference maker. They would have taken the fight straight to them, just holding and locking down that choke point. That is the Waterfall angle. Or the tails and trails are not going to be stopping them. I mean, the sound cues cut away. It matters not for them.
Bow down. What a round from King. Incredible shutdown and a 2K to boot.
You're choking.
I think it's still an excellent defense half from G2. But Lev have just stolen one back at the final hour.
And the money was bad.
Yep.
Barely any ults to work with. And yeah, it's a 7-5 finish. Flawless in the end. Here comes Lev. Nade flying forwards. Doesn't really set him up nicely for that fight here, but Mazzino is going to be rapid right through the approach there, but not expecting it. Jonah P. Touch corner. Right click's not doing it, but just down to King. Only 48 health. He's got to spot out multiple players. Finds the kill, but already the time's ticking. Already. And now for G2 to start to make some movement around the map. Nade forwards here, but they haven't cleared out. Come! This guy is tearing them apart across 5. Set up Valin. There's that response, but he's been softened up down to 7 HP.
30 seconds left.
Does have the spike, but just yet not anticipating that position. So Lev grouped up from G2, but Aspas taking punch shots, and heads will roll. It's answered, but honestly, the damage has been done here by Aspas already. Might be able to receive a rifle.
If Tex goes down...
Upgrade. Tex, though, it's the off-angle play in the movement, just ajar with it. Not making himself that easy sitting duck. Behind it, like I said. All that A pressure, Valin. He's dropped nice and early into this one. Nade rebounding forwards, but some kills need to be found here on the G2 side. They can't just give all this ground freely gained. Aspas, now is the time to let loose with it. And a rocket makes a racket. Not too much more past that. The rifles really seem to be doing most of the work. Tornapedo, plant for Mound, they're still having to clear out these players, and they are doubled up onto it. Really miscommunication, but eventually getting onto it with the defuse to use it here, yes. Maybe to offset it at least, make it a nice and even, flying forwards. Maybe not the intended target, but I think he was just hoping it would catch onto someone. And now, shoes on the other foot, G2 find themselves advantaged here into the post, still holding those close positions. It's up to Lev really to use that Utah to try and clear it. It's Paranoia and Peak, and that is beautiful. Mazzino, good timing and discipline taken with it. Satchel forward from Aspas. Smoke up, horn broken. Close corner by Valin, not anticipated. And this guy, a thorn in their side here. Leave it to Aspas once more, but it is an unwinnable situation. It should be, in all likelihood, and he recognizes it. Up and away, and fighting all the way through. I mean, listen, lit up like beacons here, but no kills really to be collected. Running through them with all that util. I mean, they're just choked entirely. Can't get past the snake bites. And Leaf. Look at this guy, I mean, he just sends flying for the nade. Will get out, so he's not quite detained. Trent is beamed down in the approach. And yes, detained, but Icy needs to follow through with this one. He needs a few more kills right into the choke point. There goes the nade. It does prevent that one with the pit drop down. Now the showstopper. Aspas. He's finding that value, finding that work down. 3 left to stand for G2. And the hopes and dreams of this series. They stand, and they might just fall right here, right now. But G2, from the moor almost, pulling it back into their hands. And it turns just like that. Aspas again left in this spot in a 1v3. Has to give it up. Tiered this game. Timing is just brutal. G2 picked to pieces here as they look to just re-aggress over towards A, and they just don't expect King. The bait and switch play. Straight from the playbook of Lev. I mean, they pulled this one out earlier.
It's great. They dominate both Altorps in the fight. C fought 4, A fought 4, and Tex, he gets that opportunity to drive the dagger into the back of G2. It's left down to Trent and Jonah P. In a 2v5, it's not possible. Lev have navigated these difficulties.
Where are you?
And it's all but wrapped up.
35 seconds left in the round. Contact plays in order here just to try and find any sort of advantage in the round, but it is wrapped up.
30
Surely it
seconds
should be. It's a mountain to overcome here, but Lev
enemy
tested, pushed. Trent finds it. At least one kill to stay alive. A bit of breathing room into the round, but not surely the series tapping. Not even sticking here into it. Paranoia in his face. Wide face, Mazzino! He finds that finishing blow. And Leviatán, they were pushed, they were tested in this series.